Have you ever heard of a man who, from the middle of the Thai jungle, managed to teach the entire world a powerful lesson about letting go? I mean, his influence was so huge it reached kings and queens and touched people all across the planet. This is the incredible story of the forest monk, Ajahn Chah.
But here's the thing. To really understand his life, we're going to start at the end, with his cremation. Because it's right there that you see the unbelievable scale of his influence, and it really makes you wonder, how did this humble monk from the forest become so deeply revered?
So, picture this. It's January 16th, 1993. Deep in a forest monastery in Thailand, this absolutely magnificent memorial stupa is at the center of this unbelievable scene. You could almost feel the reverence in the air as this huge crowd gathered to pay their last respects.
And when I say huge, I'm not kidding. Look at this number, 50,000 people. Just let that sink in. They came from all over the country, from all walks of life, forming this massive sea of mourners that just stretched on and on.
But, it wasn't just the sheer number of people that was staggering. It was who was there. The king and queen of Thailand showed up. The supreme patriarch of Thai Buddhism, the country's most respected monks. I mean, an honor like that is pretty much unheard of for a simple forest monk.
So that brings us to the big question, the one we're really going to dig into here. Who was this man? How did he inspire that kind of profound devotion from so many people, from the poorest villagers all the way up to royalty?
To answer that, we've got to go back, way back. See, his story doesn't start in some grand temple. It starts in the wild, in the tough, unforgiving jungles of Thailand. And it's there that he hammered out this totally unique and profound way of seeing the world.
For 7 straight years, Ajahn Chah was a wandering ascetic monk. And let me tell you, this was no peaceful walk in the park. He was part of the Thai forest tradition, which means you don't find wisdom in books. You find it through direct, raw experience. So he chose to go into forests filled with tigers and cobras. He slept in caves. He even meditated in cremation grounds, forcing himself to confront life and death head on.
And it was in those incredibly harsh conditions that he had his breakthrough. After facing down his own fear in a cremation ground, he had this huge realization. He said, "I kept asking where death was, until finally I got the answer, death lies within us. There's nowhere to go." He figured it out. The answer wasn't somewhere out there. It was inside him the whole time.
So, what did he actually learn out there in the wild? What was the big message he brought back? Well, it wasn't some complicated academic philosophy. He called it food for the mind, just simple, direct stuff that was deeply nourishing for the soul.
His path to finding inner peace was just beautifully simple. It really boiled down to 3 key things. First, look within. He was always saying that real wisdom isn't in some book, it's in watching your own mind. Second, let go of attachments. All the things we cling to that cause us so much pain. And third, endure with patience. He knew we couldn't just throw away all our baggage at once, but we could learn to hold it patiently until it just fades away.
And he had this fantastic way of explaining these big ideas. Take generosity. He'd say, okay, imagine you have 2 apples. One's kind of small, and the other is this big, beautiful, juicy one. You want to share. What do most of us do? We give our friend the little one, right? He'd say, yeah, that's generous. But there is still something lacking. Real generosity, true letting go, is giving away that big, juicy one without even thinking about it.
And he often got these lessons across with this sharp, really disarming sense of humor. He wasn't a lecturer. He was more like a mirror. He'd use humor to show people their own attachments, their own funny little habits, and it let them laugh at themselves without feeling bad, which made it so much easier to actually change.
Okay, so we've got this tough-as-nails monk with a simple, funny, and really deep message. But that still leaves the question, how did this way of thinking, forged in a remote Thai forest, manage to take over the whole world?
Well, his influence spread in a few key ways. First, he started attracting this really dedicated group of Western students. They were drawn to straightforward, no-nonsense style. And they're the ones who wrote down his talks and translated them into English, which just opened the floodgates to a global audience. Pretty soon, monasteries based on his teachings started popping up all over the West. But really, the secret was that his path wasn't about culture. It spoke directly to the universal human experience by focusing on the one thing we all share, our own mind.
So, when you look back at that unbelievable scene at his cremation, you finally get it. All that devotion wasn't for a king or a scholar, it was for a monk who taught a simple, freeing truth. And that truth feels more important today than ever.
I'll leave you with one of his most powerful observations, a final piece of food for the mind. The brighter the lights get, the darker our minds get. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In our dazzling modern world, what are we really looking